No, this is intimidating, and maybe you're thinking, no way do I want to be filming myself or my process or my product. Like, I don't want to be on the camera in the listing. Okay, you don't have to do any of that. This is so simple. It doesn't pick up sound. Don't overthink this. Make it 9 to 12 seconds long, okay? Because if you make it shorter, they say like 5 to 15 seconds. If you make it 5 seconds, a lot of times it'll actually translate when you're trying to upload it as like 4.9 seconds. And when that happens, then it says your video is not long enough. Please try again. And then you have to refilm. So it's a huge waste of time. So try to get between 9 and 12 seconds and just move your phone slowly. You don't need to go fast. You might think, how do I make it that long of a video about, one little printable? You don't need to go fast. You just need to go slow. And the point is that you have a video, because Etsy, when they roll out new features like videos, they push and promote listings and elevate you in the rankings if you utilize the features and the tools they're giving you. You want to have bright light, so by a window is ideal. Overhead lighting, fluorescent lighting does not count, okay? We need bright, natural light showing the item from multiple angles. If there is a feature in your item that is difficult to communicate expectations about in the description, make sure to feature that in the video. If customers also have had complaints about a certain feature of your item, even if maybe you haven't even sold the item yet, but you just gave it to someone, and then when they received it, they were like, oh, I didn't realize it's like this, or I didn't realize you do it like this. That is something that you want to feature in the video. Let's say you sell tumblers, okay? Now, sometimes with tumblers, customers don't realize what kind of straw they're going to be receiving. Is it really thick plastic? Is it silicone? Is it metal? Like, is it bendy? What is the straw situation? Does it have one of those little ridges so that it doesn't fly out when your toddler pulls it? They want to know, like, what is the straw like? What is the closure like? Is it a screw on? Is it just like pop on, like a snap on? What is the situation here? So this is a way to communicate that. So anything that you think, okay, by looking at a photo, the customer wouldn't realize this feature about it. They wouldn't realize how soft it is, how bendable it is, or they might not see the back of it from this photo. Like, this is the place to kind of eliminate a lot of customer service issues as well. They can't say that you didn't set expectations clearly. They can't say that you were misleading. Use the video to show anything that customers might say, I felt misled by this. I thought it was going to be like this, but it was like this. So have a clean background around the product. I recommend, not doing this in the grass, not doing it like on your bed. Have a clean background, not in your kitchen with a bunch of, flour and eggs and stuff on the counter, like clean background, so that all they're looking at in the video is the detail of the product. So you do not need a fancy camera. You don't need to pay for anything. Use what you have. Your phone is perfect. The quality does not really matter as much as the fact that you have a video. I also recommend editing the video to brighten it up a little bit. I know sometimes we're not used to editing the video on our phone, but just increase the brightness a little bit, because that will really help the product stand out. Now we are going to talk about what makes a good title. Maybe you feel like, okay, I got the photo thing down, but now what do I do for the title? What is important? Is this like SEO, or what am I supposed to do here? Okay, so we're going to cover more of this in SEO, but to get started, what you need to know right now is that people are looking more at your photos than at the title. So let that be reassuring to you, because the title is not as important as you might think. So your title needs to have the first few words of it, like 3-4 words, clearly state what the item is using long tail keywords. No punctuation, just long tail keywords. So the first words of your title, they need to be the closest match to what your customer will be searching for your item. So this is where you need to get into the mind of your customer. You need to think, if I was this person, what would I be typing in? What kind of words do I use that I would describe this item as? Or what is the purpose that my item serves for that customer? This is where you think like your customer, and you want to know what they are typing in, and that should be your first few words. So what are long tail keywords? If this is intimidating to you, take a deep breath, because it's really more about common sense than being super smart or analytical or knowing a strategy. It's about thinking pragmatically and being practical. So long tail keywords are they're just more specific phrases, but because they're more specific, they get less traffic to them than shorter common keywords like 2 words, but they have a higher conversion value because they're more specific. So because they are more specific to exactly what someone is searching, if they search more than 2 words, which most people do search more than 2 words, you're going to experience higher conversion. Short tail keywords, on the other hand, these are just like 1 to 3 word phrases. They have really high search volume, and it's really hard as a new shop, especially, to get found in this sea of search results. Whereas long tail keywords, so that is going to be 3 to 5 words, and it's going to allow you to target your customer more specifically. What I want to notate here is that being grammatically correct is not important. So throw your grammar out the window here and think like a person. So people don't think grammatically correct all the time. People type and search like they're thinking. People don't type and search in a grammatically correct way. They don't use articles like the or and. They pack together the key words of what they're looking for. So now we are going to get into some examples. 1, short tail keyword would be women's shirt. If you try to put your first words as women's shirt or something generic like that, you are never going to get found. It's going to be such a battle, and you're going to wonder what's going wrong. But we need to be leading with our long tail keyword. A better option would be new grandma V-neck t-shirt. You are targeting a specific person, new grandma, not just any grandma, a new grandma, a V-neck t-shirt. That's a specific type of shirt. So people looking for a grandma V-neck t-shirt are going to find you. So we want to meet customers exactly where they're at. We don't want to just be in the vicinity of them. We want to get as close to them as possible. Another example would be the short tail keyword welcome sign. I've seen so many listings on Etsy do stuff like this. Welcome sign. Long tail keyword, a better way to lead in your listing would be having the title be rustic wedding welcome sign decor. You might think, well, is someone really going to type all that in? No. But you are going to be seen for rustic wedding welcome sign, for wedding welcome sign, for welcome sign decor, and for sign decor. So you are hitting all of those combinations of the words in those consecutive order. So you're going to capture a lot more search results this way than just by having welcome sign. The customers that you are capturing, they are specifically looking for what you have. So it's going to be a much easier sale for you. So another example here would be the short tail keyword engraved photo album. A better long tail keyword would be wood engraved wedding photo album. Very specific. People looking for that, people who type that in, while it might be fewer people looking for that than engraved photo album, they're going to find you first because you have exactly what they wanted. And because you have exactly what they wanted, they're going to buy from you. Now the short tail keyword in this example, Father's Day gift. A long tail version of this would be Father's Day gift for new dad, because you're getting Father's Day gift and gift for new dad. It's specific. Now another example, because I want to make sure to give as many examples as possible, would be the short tail keyword Halloween decorations. That is so saturated. That's going to be hundreds of pages on Etsy. Now, a better long tail keyword here would be farmhouse front door Halloween decoration. So you're getting farmhouse front door Halloween decoration, door Halloween decoration. You're getting so many search terms in this, and it's very specific. Okay, so maybe now you're like, okay, Dylan, I kind of get short tail, long tail, like more specific or less specific, but what does that mean for a title? So for your title, you get 140 characters. This is your real estate. This is your free advertising. This is yours to take advantage of. Your goal for your title is to get as many relevant, that's the key, long tail keywords as possible into it. Relevant is very important because if you include long tail keywords that are not relevant, you are going to get just bounced out of the front page. Your ranking is going to go away because when customers see you show up for that maybe a trendy keyword, but that you don't relate to it, they're not going to click on you. They're not going to see you, and it's going to hurt your ability to compete with the other keywords. So maybe you sell wedding invitations, and in the fall you're thinking, okay, well, my sales are a little soft. We're heading into the fall season. It's not quite as popular for weddings as spring and summer. So I'm going to try to get some more traffic. At the end of my title, I will just add the word back to school. Okay, so you have this whole title that's like boho wedding invitation, outdoor wedding invitation, back to school, to try to rank, to get yourself to rank higher. Well, because that back to school thing is totally irrelevant, if you start to show up on the back to school pages and customers skip over you, that's going to tell Etsy that customers don't want you, and it's going to hurt your ability to rank in that boho wedding invitation or outdoor wedding invitation search result. You're going to hurt yourself in all of the search results if you put something irrelevant. The other thing is to not waste characters, those 140 characters, with commas, the word and, or dashes or anything like that. If you put commas between every set of keywords, you are breaking up the flow of those keywords. So you're preventing the last word before the comma and the first word after the comma from being connected and showing up for that search result of those two combined words. So if you say nursery decor, comma, girl room decor, then nursery decor, the last word there, decor, you might want decor and girl room to be something that you show up for. But because you put a comma in there, you put a break, and you're now not going to be seen for that. So take out the commas. It's not about being grammatically correct. I recommend if you take out commas, like you might get 5 to 7 more characters available, which is a whole nother word that you can add in. Never use the word and. Throw grammar out the window. Do not use plurals. Etsy accounts for that. Do not try to do misspellings to try to, if a customer misspells a word that's commonly used, Etsy knows that and they will redirect them to the correct spelling. So don't use plurals or misspellings to try to capture more results. Do not include your internal title for something. So because that doesn't communicate anything to your customers. Never put a SKU in there, you guys. I've seen some print-on-demand shops putting SKUs in their titles, and it's like, that does not mean anything to the customer. Or if you do artwork, maybe you've named a piece of artwork Ocean Breeze Lane. That doesn't mean anything to the customer. Ocean Breeze Lane, what are you selling? They're not going to be searching Ocean Breeze Lane in the search bar. So instead, have something like ocean artwork, nautical wall hanging, nautical home decor, coastal home decor. No commas, because you want all of the words that are next to each other, side by side, each set to be showing up for those results. So you want to show up for ocean artwork. You want to show up for artwork nautical. You want to show up for nautical wall hanging, but you also want to show up for wall hanging nautical, because sometimes people search, okay, I'm going to look up a wall hanging, and then nautical is an afterthought, so they type that at the end. People type in search in the way that they think, not in a grammatically correct way. So do not title also anything with your shop name. That means nothing to the customer. So the title is valuable real estate, so only communicate what the customer would value seeing or knowing. So here are some examples that we're going to go through from Etsy. So this is a bad title, and I'm going to show you why. Because digital prints, that is a short tail keyword, and they put a comma there. Downloadable art prints, not to mention they're using plurals, so they do not need to have the S's on these. Now, if they are trying to communicate that you're getting 2 prints, they should take off those S's and put the word at the very front, 2 digital prints, so the customer realizes they're getting 2. By adding plurals, it really doesn't communicate that they're getting 2, and it does not do anything for their SEO. Digital download wall art, that's not terrible. Digital prints download, that's a plural. Matisse digital print and Matisse digital download. Well, they have the word Matisse digital 2 times in a row there, so they're wasting space. They could totally come up with some other search terms. If this was your listing, what I would say is, who is the customer for this? Now, I'm not an artist, but I would say, okay, maybe abstract wall print, abstract wall decor. Maybe it's for an office wall decor, waiting room decor. Then you can get some B2B clients, some commercial customers, some other businesses buying things for their offices or their facilities. Maybe you're trying to target like nursery decor, girl nursery decor. Maybe you're trying to target a modern home decor vibe. So you could say like modern wall hanging. They really constrained themselves by using this title. So this title is a little bit better. See how they did set of 2? So, and they have no commas, which is awesome. I do see a plural, and I do see set of 2 repeated, but that's okay. So set of 2, coast, print, printable. So they're capturing print and printable, wall art, beach, printable, set of 2. So they're setting, just in case someone searches printable set of 2, they'll capture that. California coastal photography, ocean waves, poster, digital download. That's a really good title. Okay, here's a bad title. Wedding sign, comma. Okay, short tail keyword, comma. That did nothing for them. Wedding welcome sign. I mean, that's slightly better. But then, comma, wedding, welcome wedding sign, wood, comma, wedding decor. No, that's not helpful at all. Wedding signage. I don't know how often signage is used, but maybe. Welcome sign, wedding. They already have welcome sign at the front. It's good that they have sign and wedding. Welcome to our wedding. With this, my critique would be, this is a custom wedding sign. This is a rustic wedding sign. It's wood. It is a name sign. It is a wedding sign with a date. I would completely look at more specific terms that are selling features of this item. So rustic wood wedding sign, custom. I would lead with custom off the bat. Custom wedding sign, name, date, all of that. Okay, this is a good title. Custom, leading with custom. Outdoor wood sign, personalized, good. They have personalized in there. Cabin, camp decor, welcome sign, wood. This is great. Wall, address, because they are allowing an address on there. Bears, trees, family name. Okay, free shipping. I mean, that was not necessary. I don't know how many people are searching for free shipping in the actual search bar. Maybe they found that they're getting some traffic from that wording, wooden sign. So this is a really, really good title. Okay, here's a bad title. Girls t-shirt from Friends. They're doing that vertical bar thing for the spacing, which is total waste of real estate here. Women's graphic tees. Okay, we're having a lot of plurals and punctuation. So women graphic tee. You don't need women's graphic tees. Unisex tee. That is the most general thing I could possibly think of for this t-shirt. It is also quite confusing since it says girls on it. Girls shirt. I have no idea what that means. That is so generic. The word friends, you guys. No one is going to search the word friends in the search bar on Etsy's homepage. 90s tee. That's probably the most specific thing that I've seen in this title so far. Vintage tee. I do not think this is actually vintage, but this is not a good title. Okay, so this is a mock-up, but I think this is a really good title that I want to make sure you see. So lifestyle kids t-shirt mock-up. They do not need the comma because now they're preventing mock-up in Gildan. If someone searches mock-up Gildan 5000B, that's not going to capture it because of the comma. So they should have taken that comma out, but otherwise they're doing okay. 500B sports, great. Take off the S, no plurals needed. T-shirt, that's good that they did t-shirt with the dash and t-shirt without the dash. Kids model, so they could do kid model. Mock-up, they did mock-up with the dash and mock-up without the dash, so that's good. They're capturing both spelling terms. Boho tee mock, kids gray sublimation, blank shirt mocks. So this is better. This is a lot better than the other one. I would take out the commas and the plurals, and they could probably get a whole nother word in there, but overall it's not bad. Your title should include words like custom or customized or personalized if that's an option in the listing. I have that be the very first word if you offer it. Selling features of the item. So the type of wood, maybe it's pine. The type of fabric, is it linen? Is it silk? Selling feature of the item. Now, if it's polyester, don't do polyester. But a selling feature, is it organic cotton? Is it rustic wood? Is it driftwood? Include trending words like boho, farmhouse. That's another one. Other trending words honestly could be like Christmas, Easter, Halloween. Consider holiday terms a trending term. giftable terms relating to the item. So like Mother's Day gift or gift for her. Make sure that if this item could be gifted, which most items can be if you package them correctly, you should make sure to call that out so that it falls under that category. Because, you know, when people are coming to Etsy and they're actually typing in the word gift, they're pretty motivated to find a gift. I've already decided they're spending money. So that's half the battle. I highly recommend, if you are able to fit in your item into a gifting category, definitely do that. So you want to be adding in things that your chosen target customer would search in the search bar when looking for this item. So it's really about common sense, practical thinking. You do not need to look on Marmalade, Everbee, all those extra websites. Definitely don't pay for that, subscriptions for those. You can use eRank and things like that for ideas to make sure you haven't missed key search terms. But honestly, it's not going to be as comprehensive as what your mind can come up with, and it's not necessary. So looking at other listings from other shops that are successful for title and keyword ideas, that's honestly going to be much more valuable than trying to look for term ideas on eRank.